In today's video, we're visiting the order of operations. Again, something I know that you're not new to, but let's just do a quick review of our order of operations. Even though it's a 6-letter acronym, it's truly 4 items. P, parentheses. And these are parentheses that have something inside of them to do. So remember, we do use parentheses to show multiplication nowadays. So we do have to look at parentheses and know, is this a do me first type of parenthesis? Or is this just a multiplication parenthesis? Second thing we look for are exponents and just exponents. No big deal there. You see an exponent, evaluate it. The third step combines M and D. Multiplication and division are equal in terms of their priority. So once we've taken care of parentheses, once we've taken care of exponents, we're just going to go through the problem from left to right, from beginning to end, and if we see multiplication or we see division, we're going to do it. And that leaves as the final step, addition and subtraction. Once we get to the point that everything is addition and subtraction, we just do exactly what we see, again, from left to right. For the most part, as we do these problems, I'm only going to do one step at a time. There will be some exceptions, and I will point them out and explain them as I get to them. In the first example, we are asked to add 3 numbers. Nice and simple introduction to the idea. Everything is addition. So there's no parentheses, no exponents, no multiplication, no division. So right away, we're just going to work this problem left to right. So 1 plus 3 is 4, and 4 plus 4 is 8. In number 22, we do have 5 minus 2 inside parentheses, which means it gets done first. It's inside parentheses. 5 minus 2 is 3. And now we have individual numbers inside parentheses. So these parentheses no longer mean I'm a group and do me first. These are multiplication parentheses. 3 times 6 is 18. In number 23, we have 3 to the second power minus 4, so we have an exponent here. 3 squared. We have to work that out first. 3 squared means I have 2 3's to multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. So we have the statement 9 minus 4, and that's 5. Now number 24 might be a little confusing to look at first. There are a lot of parentheses here. But this first set of parentheses has a 4 and a 2 inside of it, each one in its own protective bubble of parentheses. Those inner parentheses around the 4 and the 2 are multiplicative parentheses. They're saying multiply 4 and 2. The outermost parentheses are saying do that multiplication first. So that 4 times that 2 is 8. And now all of these parentheses are multiplicative parentheses. 8 times 2 is 16. In number 25, there's addition inside of parentheses to be done first. 4 plus 5 is 9. Now, we have parentheses, but they're multiplicative parentheses. However, multiplication comes before subtraction, so we are going to multiply first. 6 times 9 is 54, and 54 minus 5 is 49. In number 26, we have division, addition, and subtraction. No parentheses, no exponents. Division takes precedence in those 3 operations. 4 divided by 4 is 1. And once we have all addition and subtraction, we just work the problem from left to right. So 1 plus 6 is 7. I was already a step ahead in the problem. And 7 minus 6 is 1. In number 27, we do have an expression inside parentheses to do first. It's 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2 to the third power minus 2. Now these parentheses around the 2, they are technically multiplicative, because 2 to the third power means we're going to do 2 times 2 times 2. So that exponent is what we handle next. And if you think this out for a second, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. That's used 3 2's, so 2 to the third power is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. And number 28, we have all addition and subtraction, so we can just work this guy from left to right. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus 4 is 11. 11 minus 5 is 6. In number 29, we have a big set of parentheses here that inside of it has two smaller sets of parentheses. This is going to be an instance where we can actually work both of those at one time. I don't need to do this in two separate steps. Okay, the 4 is untouched. And the second group is still going to be a group, because that division is not going away. But what's being divided? Well, we have 18 minus 3, so that's going to be 15. And that's being divided by 5 minus 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. Now this set of parentheses has division inside of it, so it's what we handle first. 15 divided by 3 is 5. These parentheses are now multiplicative in nature. 4 times 5 is 20. Number 30, we have, again, these parentheses inside parentheses. These do have a name. They're called nested parentheses. And we have to go as far inside as we can first. So that's going to be this 11 minus 6. 11 minus 6 is 5. Now we have a set of parentheses that has multiplication inside of it. 5 times 2 is 10. And those parentheses around the 10 now don't really mean anything. They're not multiplicative because immediately after them I have a division symbol. They're just kind of sort of a remnant from working through the problem, but they don't mean anything now. Okay. Anytime a problem has parentheses to start with, they are not meaningless. But as we work through the problem and clean things up, they can become that way. If there was something else outside these parentheses, then they would still mean to multiply. But because they're immediately followed by a division symbol, they don't mean anything. So we're going to do 10 divided by 5 is 2, and 2 minus 1 is 1. And you'll notice here I'm starting to write equals at the end of the problem. It's just because I'm running out of space and I can't write it underneath. We're not working with equations yet. We do not need to write equal signs. I'm just working with the space I have available to me. All right, 6 more to go. Number 31, I have 1 plus 6 plus 6 times 5 plus 2. Multiplication first. 6 times 5 is 30. And now it's a bunch of addition, so we can just run it through. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 30 is 37. And 37 plus 2 is 39. In number 32, we have an operation inside parentheses, so it's first. 17 minus 1 is 16. Then we have division. Notice here, I didn't even write the parentheses around the 16. I could have, but there'd be a plus sign in front of them and a division symbol immediately after them. That means here the parentheses are useless. There are directions outside of them. There's addition, there's division. I know what to do with this 16. So this time I'm not going to write them. This division now has priority, so 16 divided by 4 is 4. And now we add left to right. 5 plus 4 is 9, and 9 plus 5 is 14. Okay, in 33, nested parentheses first. So this 2 minus 1 that's way inside. Now, I do have two sets of parentheses. They both tell me to do stuff inside of them. They're separated by a division symbol. That means we can do each one right now and keep what we get separated by a division symbol. So 17 minus 2 is 15. And while I've been writing these out every time so far, I think this math is simple enough we can just say, hey, 5 minus 1 is 3. And 15 divided by 3 is 5. Again, in 34, we do have these nested parentheses where there's a 1 plus 2 in parentheses, in other parentheses. So 1 plus 2 is 3. And as in the previous example, we have two expressions in parentheses separated by a division symbol. So we can keep that division symbol and deal with each side individually and then do the division. 3 times 3 on the left side is 9. On the right side, 6 minus 3 is 3. And 9 divided by 3 is 3. In number 35, innermost parentheses first. So let's see, this is going to be 4 plus 2 plus 14 divided by 5 minus 1. 5 minus 4 simplifies to 1. And again, very similar. We have this group, we have this group, split by a division symbol. So if we keep that division symbol, we can simplify each side of it and then do the division. Again, 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 14 is 20, 5 minus 1 is 4, 20 divided by 4 is 5. Finally, number 36, we have some addition inside of parentheses to do first. 3 plus 5 is 8. We have no exponents. We do have multiplication. Then we have division. And now we have all subtraction. 10 minus 2 is 6. And 6 minus 4 is 2. One thing I do want to point out, throughout this video, you have seen the use of the division symbol, the original division symbol. And I did stress in the previous couple of days that in pre-algebra, we try to focus on using a fraction bar to represent division. Again, with most rules, there are exceptions, and the order of operations, for now, is one such exception. After this, you're not going to see the division symbol show up much more this year.